Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Noah Horowitz, the director of the NRDC Center for Energy Efficiency Standards. That's the National Resources Defense Council. Thanks for joining us, Noah.
Hi, nice to be here, Fred.
You've got an interesting report out with the headline, Smart Speakers and Video Streaming Devices Are Efficient, but TV Energy Use Can Double, Waiting for Voice Commands. This is pretty interesting and a lot of information that many of us can use. So give us the overview here of what you found.
Sure, happy to. So almost overnight, we're seeing smart speakers in people's homes. Those are the Amazon Echo, or more commonly referred to as the Alexa, and similar products from Google and Apple and other companies. And then on our TVs, we're seeing streaming devices like an Apple TV, a Roku box, or an Amazon Fire TV stick. And there's no information on how much energy these products use. So we did a comprehensive study, and we found two things. One, these devices are pretty energy efficient. They seem to be designed with efficiency in mind. And even though they maintain an internet connection and are ready to receive a voice command in terms of the smart speakers, they're just using a teeny bit of power, about, in round numbers, $2 to $4 a year worth of electricity. So that's the good news. There's also a new feature that people are just beginning to become aware of, and you can link your smart speaker to your new TV and control your TV simply by your voice. So imagine you get rid of your remote control. You can walk into a room and say, Alexa, turn on the TV. Alexa, put on the news on ABC, and your TV will do that. The big problem and the aha from this report is that TV that used to just draw a teeny bit of amount of electricity waiting for your remote control, call it less than half a watt, might be using 20 watts of power now, just keeping other parts of the TV on, waiting for that signal from the smart speaker. And let me pause there, but why does all this matter? Well, if a quarter to a half of all TVs in the U.S. get linked to a smart speaker in this way, we could be looking at an increase of $1.3 to $2.5 billion a year worth of electricity unless we see these further efficiency improvements. And when you add it up nationally, that could be another 3 to 6 large power plants worth of electricity that'll have to be generated every year, along with all the carbon emissions that come from that electricity generation.
Very interesting, and not only that, I guess the amount of money it's going to take out of our wallets, which it may not seem like a whole lot, but when you add it all up, it can be over the course of a year, right?
Yeah, and just for the consumer who innocently and appropriately goes for this new great feature, if the TV isn't designed right, they could be looking at another $200 worth of electricity over the 10-year life of their TV. So we need manufacturers to update their TVs, the designs of their TVs, so that they only use about 1 watt in standby power instead of this 20 that we saw from some of the TVs that we tested.
So are we talking about the TVs that have this technology built into them, or are we talking about using a separate speaker to control them?
So today, the way it works is you would have your smart speaker in the same room as your TV, and that's the way your voice commands get into the TV. And the TVs now, some of them are keeping a lot of the other functions alive. They're either fully on or fully off and nothing in between. In the not-too-distant future, you could easily imagine something like Alexa or Apple TV being built directly into the TV itself. Imagine a campaign like Alexa Inside. We've already seen that with some of the video streaming devices like Roku. Roku is built into some of the TVs that are on the market today.
So are you saying at this point some of the trade-offs, the benefits, may not be worthwhile?
So we're all for consumers being able to have great functions and no sacrifice. We just want products to be built in an energy-efficient way. And we've spoken to some of the biggest TV manufacturers in the world, and some of them seem on the cusp of being able to deliver this hands-free functionality with a very instant or fast resume time for 1 watt or less of power, and that's what we're aiming for. And we think they're going to be able to do it. It's just today's TVs don't.
So the TV that most of us have in our homes today, if we link it to the smart speaker to use the voice commands, that's going to wind up costing us extra money?
Yes, and this feature just started showing up in 2018 and 2019 TVs. So if you have an older TV, this isn't an issue. It's really a question of today's TVs and going forward.
What about other things that are linked to these smart speakers? Is it the same issue, or I guess in some instances, yes, some no?
So our world, as I think many of your listeners know, is becoming increasingly interconnected. So all these devices are trying to talk to each other. And we need to make sure that while they're sleeping, sitting there, waiting for some sort of communication, that they're just using very small amounts of power as opposed to wasting lots of power, especially when you add it up across the billions of devices that are in our homes. So some of the lights that we have now are called smart LED bulbs that they can, through your phone, you can turn it on, or when you're away, you can change it, or you can change your thermostat. We're going to see more and more of these sorts of interconnection, and we just need to make sure the standby power is very small, and in some cases, like we found here with the TVs, they didn't design it properly.
So is there a place that people can go to for more information to find out specifically if their TVs are on this list, so to speak?
So the big problem, we only tested a handful of products, and we tested the 2018 TVs. Now the 2019 models are widely available. Unfortunately, this information, well, the manufacturers, some of them weren't even thinking about this, let alone testing for it. So this information is scarce, and we hope our report serves two functions. It's a call to action. So we need manufacturers to test their products and make available this information that is lacking, and for them to come up with the technical solutions that we think are readily available.
And what about the speakers and sometimes small screens and these devices themselves? You said they're efficient pretty much overall, the ones from Amazon or Google?
Yeah, we think the industry has done a really good job here in designing the products properly. We did find that two of the devices, the Roku boxes and the Google Chromecast streaming devices, they used about a watt more of standby power than the similar products from Amazon and Apple, and we're hoping Roku and Google can tweak their products and bring down the standby power so it matches those of the other companies, and that alone will save tens of millions of dollars per year nationally for consumers.
Terrific. And for more information about the work that you're doing there at the NRDC, where should folks go?
They should go to our website, www.nrdc.org, and navigate the website, and they can search for my name, Noah Horowitz, Horowitz, and you could read about this study and then some work we've done on bringing down the energy use of set-top boxes and other consumer electronics products. And thanks so much for the opportunity to talk with you about this.
Noah Horowitz, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C. Crane.